Hi, this is Edward with sonsofgod.com. It's Saturday, I believe the 13th of August. It's been a few weeks since we've posted, and we apologize for that. We've been in the midst of completing the book, and just when we think we're done, then something else gets added. And so at some point we just have to kind of stop and say, well, we'll pick this up on the next book. We're actually doing a final proof on it right now. It's right here. It actually will be a normal book, 6x9, color cover, perfect bound, normal looking. This just happens to be the manuscript that we're reviewing here over the next couple of days before it gets submitted to the publisher, and we'll have copies back within a couple of weeks. The last section that I added, and it really doesn't do it justice, but it's the precursor of the next book that we're going to start on, and it's called The Workshop for Seers. And in this area we basically are touching on things that Ann and I have walked in and lived and experienced, but they'll take an entire book in and of themselves, from breathing, diet, visualization, imagination, simplicity, auras, journaling, worship, so many things that comprise keys that help to take us to God. And the challenge that we faced has been a unique one, and I say because we still face it, and that is that God has given so much into our hands as a people, and the religious thinking, amazing how we can still carry it forward, is in some way looking for God to do something outside of us, that we're going to see a unique manifestation that is not in direct correlation to the energizings of our own spirit. And I think that that's a misnomer. I think it's a carryover of the mentality of the rapture, that people that have believed in the rapture, I think that was perpetrated by Charles Scofield back in the 20s and 30s. What a demonic thing. Have a mindset that God is just going to do this thing, and one day you're here, the next day you're caught up, and those poor people down on earth. You've seen the series of books written by the authors that I'm not going to name that have really developed that ideology to the nth degree. Such a working of Satan. That just develops this mentality of, oh yes, I believe, and it's going to happen, and it's going to be in the sweet by and by, and we're waiting for God to do it. And that's not been our experience with the Lord. We have found that He has given us keys. He has spoken to us in cryptic sayings in just different ways, and He is expected that we would take the initiative, work with Him as a co-creator, which we talk about in the book, and bring to pass His will in the earth. So it's very, very interesting. And this is something that we're still ardently pursuing right now, because of the things that God is speaking to us that we don't talk about at the website, because we don't have all the pieces. We haven't connected everything together. But we had an email in from a gentleman, young man, Chad, and I wanted to answer a couple of questions that Chad posed, because we get these questions off and on, and I just want to be upfront and honest and tell you what our take is on it. One of the things he asked about was, of course, the year 2012. And some of you may or may not be aware of all of the hoopla about 2012 and the Mayan prophecies. I mean, we've read that stuff. When God was transitioning us out of the norm of church, He had us read a lot of different things, and expose us to different mindsets, different theories, concepts, illusions. And the only thing I can say is the Lord has not talked to us about 2012. But what He has been talking to us about, it's been going on 10 years, but it has ramped up significantly in the last 18 months. And that is about the reality of sonship and the reality of a transformation that He has slated for us. And the difficulty that I find is that the words that are coming in the Spirit are words that are saying, you've got it. It's here. You have it. You're just not seeing it. And so we are on our face more and more, not nearly enough, really looking to the Lord and reaching in to come up higher in our own vibration, our own awareness, our own oneness with the Lord. Because I do believe that we are at the door, and we have been at the door for a season now, and that the next step really is transformation. I've seen it. He has spoken to me about it very specifically, maybe half a dozen times in the last year and a half. And I know that the sons of God are those that initiate the judgments and that which is coming to pass in the earth. I believe that more than we understand, we are doing that now. There's so much that's unfolding that we are creating that we're not aware of. It just is what it is. And as you come up higher, as the changes continue to happen within you, you become more and more aware of what you are doing, both consciously, by your acts of faith, your stance, your mindset, your demeanor, your perception, as well as that which your spirit is doing. And to me, this is it's like we said before. This is a whole new age. It's a whole new world of spirit, and God is causing us to learn about the spirit realm, learn our spirits, because we are a triune being. We have a physical body. We have a soul, which is comprised of the mind, the intellect, and the psychic, and we have a spirit that worships God day and night, a spirit that is so given to the Lord by and large, a spirit that is very active in bringing forth what God is doing right now, that a spirit that is very much involved in the interaction of the spiritual warfare. But by and large, as a people in general, we have not been aware of that. That is not going to be the norm. We are in a shift. We are in a change. And I will tell you that. God is bringing us to a level where we're going to experience this overlapping within our own consciousness, a bridging of the gap that I've spoken of before. So there's definitely a shift that's on, and we keep reaching to get a little deeper toehold on what God is doing and what God is establishing. Because I know that the judgments that are coming, and I'll go back to this thing about 2012, that what we see coming on the earth is coming because we're becoming. And I'll be, specifically, we brought this word recently on the Nephilim, more as just something to bring a greater awareness. But I know that just prior to that and since then, God has been bringing more insight into the operation of that which is going on behind closed doors.